Good morning and welcome back to Margin. This morning we're going to talk about how to hack that vacation. So let's jump right into it. So people oftentimes don't prioritize a getaway because of the cost of doing so. After all, vacations are a luxury and not a necessity. But what if you could plan a vacation that allows you to spend within your normal household budget when the time comes instead of having to save up? Now, of course, this depends on how bougie your vacations tend to be. But if you just need some time away, you can do this on the cheap. Now, I typically don't save up for vacations, and this is how I do it. I break down the cost of a vacation based on four main components in no specific order. The first one is food. That's a necessity in my mind. This is one of the highest priorities on my vacation, as I always try to try out local options. Now, I have a monthly food budget that includes groceries and eating out. This budget includes being able to grab some sushi, grab some Thai, or even get a steak here and there. So I just operate within my normal food budget when I go on vacation. I will have a more expensive meal in the evenings and otherwise just keep it reasonable. Now, people tend to go all out when they are on vacation, buying things that they normally would not, but just refrain from that if you are going on a vacation without necessarily having saved for that vacation. Now, travel is, of course, a key component to taking a vacation outside of the area that you reside. So that's item number 2. It's usually necessary for you to organize some level of transportation if you're going out of the area. So I usually fly either Southwest or Delta, both of which I typically book 2 to 3 weeks out. I fly coach and I typically choose the lowest fare, even if it's a red eye, within reason. Now, if I don't fly, I will rent a vehicle and look across classes of vehicles to see which vehicle has a higher supply and therefore oftentimes a lower cost for what you get. Now, recently I rented a mid-size truck, a Toyota Tacoma, to go to Arizona, and it was actually cheaper than getting an economy car. And so I went with that option. Now, I try to stick to a truck or an SUV when I can, and oftentimes I can find a deal on one of those. So where you stay is an important component to actually enjoying the vacation, at least in my mind. So this is item number 3 that's especially important. Now, I typically book my stay within days of travel, as I typically stay in a hotel rather than an Airbnb, and oftentimes hotels will drop their rates in order to fill vacancies. Now, I have a resort that I typically stay at in Utah when I go there in the fall that pushes a few $100s a night, but that's in peak season. If you are not there during peak season, that drops, to around $100 or less per night if you book in close proximity to the stay. Now, the fourth and final aspect is the local attractions. I usually choose free or close to free attractions like hiking, going to the beach, or going to drive to explore or try out local eateries. So I avoid the pitfalls of guided tours, theme parks, mainly because I really hate roller coasters. Anything that keeps me from being able to really decompress, I just kind of avoid. Now, there's nothing special to my approach. I will use rewards programs for flights, rental cars, and hotels, but much of this comes down to not traveling during peak seasons, not scheduling exorbitant trips where I'm trying to pack in as much as possible, and actually vacationing much like I normally live. I just try to be mindful first of what really brings the most value to me in my getaway, which is a nice place to stay, great food, and exploring the area. Then staying away from the tourist traps, the frivolous spending just because you're on vacation, or maxing out your schedule with commitments to fully immerse yourself when it's not necessary. Now, I'm not encouraging you to not budget. I would never do that. But what I am encouraging you to do is that if you need a vacation, take one. Just take a vacation. Just stay within your budget. Stay within your operating budget for your household for that month and cut back in certain areas in order to make that happen. Now, I wouldn't encourage you to live beyond your means, so make sure you don't take these trips on a credit card. Don't put them on a credit card. Now, figure out what it is that you value most and redirect funds to that. And that will ensure that you return rested and recharged once you come back from that time away. Now, my call to action today is to see when your next vacation is scheduled for. And if you don't have one scheduled, take a look at how much you will need in order to take a vacation based on what matters most to you. Then set a date and start saving. If this information is helpful to you, please do like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're reminded to come back on a daily basis and improve in managing your personal finances. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day. I'll see you back here tomorrow.